Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and I am still here with Chris today, and this is going to be a fun video. I'm talking fast because there's a whole shit ton of content we got to get through, and then we're going to go over to Patreon and we'll figure out something really cool to talk about there. It may be not safe for work. No, it will be. I'm just kidding. That's just a hook to get you to go check it out. So you have a whole list here, and these are all animals that what?
That I purchased from you.
That's right. So today you're going to see what is Chris taking home. He's going to tell you why he chose it, what he's going to do with it if there's a plan. Sometimes there isn't one. Sometimes you just find shit you want. It happens. And we're going to go from there. So I'm going to play guy going and getting animals. And the first one is this 211603. I happen to know where that's at, so that'll be easy. I think I know where it is. Oh, yeah. So what we've got here is a little banana mahogany, and make sure to stay all the way through because somewhere in here we're going to tell you about an animal he got on a project that doesn't even have a name yet, that may still be new. So while you're talking about that, I'm going to go start getting the other one ready.
All right. I wanted mahogany. I don't have it yet in my collection, and it looked great with the banana. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm planning on throwing in some black pastel to that project and seeing what happens. Trying to bring out a little bit darker purples, maybe a little bit brighter oranges, and go from there.
So yeah, I really like the banana mahogany stuff myself. So we did keep one of these up for us too. So yeah, I'm with you on that project. So the next one will be 2013-06, and I'm going to look for 2013-08. So I'll let you have that one.
All right, this is just a straight up albino. I have a Tofino male at home just to get some Tofinos and albinos going, just basically to sell, to fund other projects. Same with the next one coming out.
These are dirty. I'm having to rinse them. They like roll in the coconut.
The next one's going to be a Tofino. Same deal. I'm just looking for some snakes that look cool to sell.
There's for a good comparison too.
Yeah,
Tofino to albino.
Yep. So you get your purple, more purple, which will get better with age, or your cleaner white and yellow, whichever you like.
This is like the classic thing right here, man. The super contrasted albino with the really red eyes, really nice. And then what do we got coming next?
2011-05.
2011-05. He's going so quick. I'm having to two-hand these guys back.
2011-05 is just a straight up lesser, and the only reason I'm getting that is to make bells without any other genes in them. Just a straight bells, again, set up on a table, sell some snakes that will sell all day long. So that's why I got that girl.
That one didn't need a rinse. It didn't play in the dirt as much. That thing's huge.
Yeah.
Do you know why it's so huge?
I do not.
I can tell you it's because I'm an idiot. So what happened was, we've had this thing, and for whatever reason, my brain wasn't working the day I labeled it. I labeled it pastel. So I'm like, every time, I'm like, would never post it because it was labeled wrong. I need to fix that. And then finally, okay, I just need to post this thing, and you ended up picking that one. And that's why it's like massive, because
it was labeled as a pastel.
Yeah, then it's
still
definitely
labeled
not
as a pastel.
It still is, but I'm just like, it don't matter what I label it as. I know this is not a pastel. This is certainly a lesser. That caused me grief a few times. What's the next one on our list?
The next one is the pastel yellow belly exanthic male that we just had out.
Oh yeah, I know right where he's at too.
And this one I got because Matt finally talked me into the SK line.
Oh yeah.
We were texting back and forth one day. He's like, hey, you know that male's still there, you should grab it. I asked him if he was trying to get me divorced. He said, no way, man, I just think you'd enjoy it. So I was like, all right, and I pulled the trigger on it. Yeah, I think I'm going to be happy with it. I mean, I'm working another line of exanthic currently, but I'll just keep them separated and work too.
You know, the cool thing is too, is you're going to be able to have the comparison when you're doing both those lines of exanthic to see if there is any minor differences in how they interact with certain genes. And I don't think there is. I think they to me they all look the same.
Yep.
If you have good examples, or they all look the same if you don't have good examples.
Yep.
You know? So, but I will say one thing on the other line that you have is the Jolliffe line, and it is, even though I got an SK Snow, it is hard to beat Jolliffe line snows. That's because when he was picking his original holdbacks, he was thinking snow from the word go. So that is one thing. If there's any difference in them, it's the SK and VPI with the more availability of morphs because there's more of them out there, and then the Joliffe. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat Joliffe in the snow. It just is. He did a really good job on that. So we put this one back. What's the next one?
210201.
What is that?
It's a jungle carpet.
Oh yeah. Time for Matt to get bit, probably.
Jungle carpet. I love carpet pythons. When I found out that these guys had them, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna jump on that. I did get a baby female, little female, because I do have that. I'm getting a couple of males from someone else, so I'm just starting to build my my carpet collection.
Really?
I have one at home right now. I have another female. She's a little crazy, but I do, I do love the difference in attitude and overall care. They just, I don't keep my carpets in tubs. I keep them in actual cages. They're more display. So, whereas the ball pythons do better for me in tubs. I tried the displays, that did not work out for me very well. So,
kind of the trick with these is you got to stand them to you. Is you just got to kind of let them crawl through your hands. When you're getting them out of an enclosure or a tub, you can't force it, you can't rush it. On these little ones, I get them to start trying to crawl it onto me after they quit trying to bite my face. Then they're pretty chill and pretty calm. So this one looks a lot like her mother with, say, a little bit more blushing influence coming from dad. These are jag sibs, but there's no jag in this animal. So really, it's going to be cool. And the carpets, I think you probably already mentioned, because I was trying to fight her, they get better with age. So the yellow is going to continue to come in for a while longer and continue to brighten in. And this snake looks really, really cool already. So I think she's going to be a very, very nice yellow and black, which is what you really want when you're working with your jungle. And again, for anybody who's ever dealing with a jag sib or a jag, two things to remember in that issue or in that scenario. Jag, similar to spider, does contain a little bit of a wobble a lot of times. Now, their male or their dad, it's almost non-existent in him. You've held him, you've seen him. He does amazing. The other thing is to jag is a lethal combo, so don't do that. They'll make all white carpet babies that either are born dead or die right after. So bad juju right now to do jag to jag. The other thing I would tell you is anybody who lists as a jag sib and calls it a pure jungle doesn't understand what's going on because the jag gene came from coastal. So you can't have a jag carpet or a jag sib carpet without at least a little bit of coastal blood. Maybe just a drop, maybe just one little, spot on the allele to pass on that in the DNA, but there has to be coastal blood in there somewhere. So, there you go. Anything else on those?
Nope.
Put this little rudder back.
There we go.
Come here, girly. Our boy, I'm not sure. I don't remember right now. Which one are you? You are, well, I wrote it on the tubs. We sexed and I wrote it on the thing. What was that, a female or male?
That's female.
Female, okay.
Yep.
What's the next snake?
211001.
Is that the
Anchy Ghost?
The Anchy Ghost.
And the reason I picked that up is I haven't been working Ghost. This one was actually a special.
What do you mean by special? Let's cover
special. On Patreon. If you're a Patreon member, Matt does run monthly specials. This one was actually a true auction special. Once I saw him, I was like, yeah, I don't have any Ghosts, so I think I'm going to take a shot, and ended up, getting them.
So if you're not a member, become one. We do monthly specials. You can get your membership money back pretty quick getting a monthly special because they usually go way cheaper than market price, which is kind of the point of a special. It's not a special if I sell it for market price. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, Inchy Ghost, and something else I mentioned on those carpets, forgot what it was. Oh, the reason it's not labeled in the tub is we had to wait till the carpets are a little bit older to sex them, and you don't want to pop a carpet that young because you'll break their spine. So we actually had them probed. So the labels were made well before the sexes were found out, but the sexes are logged in the computer. And that's why you see that as different. So don't try to pop baby carpets or baby GTBs. It's not going to work out good. I know you want to bite something. Bite the red tip. Boop. So what is our next one? Oh, are we ready for that one? Let me put back this crazy one. This one is an asshole, by the way, and here's where you can tell a baby's an asshole. When you pick it up and it stays stiff like that, it's going to bite you, okay?
They're doing a plank.
It's going to bite you. Can you change that behavior? Yes, you can. You need to come from the back. Doesn't work every time. I might get bit here. Just a little bit of a touch. Oh man, that was a violent wrap. And we're going to try to get her to wrap up, or him. Now, this one is still stiff. So if I put something in front of its face, it's still likely to bite you. Now, it ain't going to do any damage. If it does, we can put it back just like that. So the trick to not getting bit with a snake like this when you're carrying it is give it something else to try to bite. And hopefully it'll not even try to bite that. But that hand will keep you from getting bit. All right, the last one is special. I'm going to go get it. It's over here in the special side.
It is.
This is the first snake we've ever sold out of the special side, by the way.
I'll let you take this one.
You'll let me take this one,
Yep.
huh?
Yeah, you can explain this one.
Well, I got to explain. I got to get a comparison. So I'll let you start what you got
right.
there.
This is a pastel like Blitz. We do think there might be something else going on in there. And you'll see in the comparison that there's a big color difference, flaming difference, as opposed to a regular pastel Blitz. So we're kind of hoping.
Now, this is the first time you've seen the snake in person, right?
It is.
So you kind of had to take a flyer and a chance on what you're seeing on camera.
Correct.
Now, is there a difference in person and on camera and how much difference you see in these two snakes?
There is. The
Yeah.
colors are brighter, the flaming is brighter and higher coming up the sides. There's also pattern differences that you don't get. Let me see here. What do we got? We have the single eyelet alien heads along the sides, not just down the top. As in over here, these are basically confined to the top, not on the side. So there's pattern differences, color differences, flaming. There's head different. The head on this is lighter than over here. Sorry, girl. So
Now, it doesn't mean that this is definitely not just pastel.
nope.
So, I mean, when you're working these new projects, I would be doing a disservice if I said, and people do it all the time, we're not going to be those people. If I name this, I don't know, Hellfire, and it's a pretty cool actually name. So that's the name, Hellfire. If we called that a Hellfire Blitz, that's fucking, I'm going to probably keep that. Hellfire or Brimstone, or maybe both. So if we call this a Hellfire Blitz, let's say, and we call this a pastel Blitz, and we really don't know if that's just not a random pastel that popped up on our collection that's wonky, that's breathing a little wonky, we would be doing kind of a disservice to our customers. So if you ever run across that, and you may in your career if you're lucky, then, you know, prove it out first. And if you're going to sell one, be up front. Girl, why are you running so much? And for the record, this pastel Blitz typically would be nicer than most pastel blitzes you're going to see because it is also 100% het for a recessive, which does tend to clean things up. So this is a pastel Blitz het axanthic female we're raising up. And if you pay a close attention to the blacks there, you'll see exactly what Chris was talking about in the amounts of blushing that exists through this snake that just don't quite seem the same. The big difference to me is on the sides. This is mostly just yellow, and then come up the sides is all yellow. You don't really get a whole lot of white flaming coming up at all on this animal, whereas on these animals, hold on, this crazy one. On these animals, to a T, you get the white flaming. It's just all through, bam, 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 all through, like all through here, that you just don't see there at all.
Yeah.
Like it's just a complete non-existent verse there.
Yep.
So it's definitely, you know, the bellies are pretty similar. I don't see a lot of difference going on there too much. But the color overall, too, is just a shade lighter in this animal. Like you talked about the alien heads. And then to me, this is all closer together and more of a repeating pattern. There's just more pieces of pattern than there is on these. That tends to be more spaced out than the parts dripping into the bottom here. To me, to my eye. See what I'm talking about there? How much busier this pattern is, I guess is the best word for it.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I see and why we're hopeful that something's going on here. But we know we are not a big enough operation, as much as we wish we were, to take an animal, take all these animals, keep them, work them, release them in the market, and put them to enough stuff to really figure out what's going on 100%. So we decided to get a few other people involved, and Chris is one of them. The other one will be decided later through an entirely complete 100% giveaway on our Patreon channel, where somebody's going to get one without the blitz. It's just a pastel-like gene, just gifted to them. And that's still to come. So those will be the only two people involved in it other than us. That's going to have babies from the first season to have the first jump on it if it does prove to be something. So that's what we're working on there. Anything else to add?
Nope, I'm good.
Kurt, anything you want to add?
No.
Here, we should trade, because this one's yours and that one's mine. Now,
right.
see how that works?
There we go.
You can have your snake and I'll take my snake. All right, guys, that's all I got then. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.